Hello, welcome. This is George Menendez, BCBA with IBA today, and we're doing a review for the RBT exam. I'm here with Melanie. She's going to take the exam too. We're going over the behavior analysis by Cooper book, and then we're reviewing different terms, kind of a master class on the exam for registered behavior technician. Melanie has a question about motivation, motivating operations. So let's read a little bit about it. We are on chapter 16, motivating operations. Definition and characteristics of motivating operation, basic features. In the treatment of motivation, Keller and Schoenfeld identified the drive concept in terms of a relation between certain environmental variables, which they call establishing operations, and certain changes in behavior, although not conforming exactly to their uses. Establishing operation (EO) was introduced in 1982 as a term for any environmental variable that A. alters the effectiveness of some stimulus, object, or event as a reinforcer, and B. alters the current frequency of all behavior that has been reinforced by that stimulus, object, or event. The term establishing operation (EO) is now commonly used in applied behavior analysis, and the term motivating operation has recently been suggested as a replacement for the term EO. Along with the terms value altering and behavior altering for the two defining effects described previously, this more recent arrangement will be presented in this chapter. The value altering effect is either A, we're talking about the value altering effect, is either A, an increase in the reinforcing effectiveness of some stimulus, object, or event, in which case the MO is an establishing operation, or B, a decrease in reinforcing effectiveness, in which case the MO is an establishing operation. The behavior altering effect is either A, an increase in the current frequency of behavior that has been reinforced by some stimulus, object, or event called an evocative effect, or B, decrease in the current frequency of behavior that has been reinforced by some stimulus, object, or event called abative effect. For example, food deprivation is an established operation that increases the effectiveness of food as a reinforcer and evokes all behavior that has been reinforced with food. Food ingestion, consuming food, is an AO, abolishing operation, that decreases the effectiveness of food as a reinforcer and abates all behavior that has been followed by the food reinforcement. These relationships are shown below. An increase in painful stimulation is an EO that increases the effectiveness of pain reduction as a reinforcer and evokes all behavior that has been reinforced by pain reduction. A decrease in pain stimulation is an AO that decreases the effectiveness of pain reduction. Okay. Alright, well, this is what you need to know. Reinforcement effectiveness, as well as the principle of satiation and deprivation.
I need to know the difference.
Okay, deprivation. If I haven't drunk water in a long time, I'm deprived of water.
Okay.
Therefore, water is going to be a stronger reinforcer than pizza, for example, at that particular time. Because what I really want is water. I don't want anything else but water. Okay. Now, if I drank 6 of this, is this a reinforcer?
No.
Because, I'm satiated on this. I had enough of that.
So it's not?
So it's not a strong reinforcer. So you want to always find out for any client that you have that reinforcers, they lose their strength if they haven't access to it freely. Okay. So if you want to use, for example, Play-Doh as a reinforcer, and the kid has tons of Play-Doh there, do you want to use Play-Doh as a reinforcer? It's not going to work. Now, some reinforcers people don't get satiated on it that much. For example, being on the computer, because it's too broad. You could go here, you could do too many things, so it's hard to get satiated on that. Although if you're being on the computer for a long time, you want to do something else because your eyes are fatigued and you're probably uncomfortable. You want to do all the things, you know. Or you could use food because I mean on the computer I'm hungry, so now you can use food as a reinforcer. Money. I don't know anybody who's satiated on money. I see millionaires working and they have a lot of money, so they don't get satiated on money. Because that money could be transferred into other reinforcers. So, but let's talk about children. Children who eat, for example, pizza, and you give them a whole pizza for that kid. You think it's gonna work for pizza after that?
No.
Let's say you go there and he already had lunch. He already had lunch. And you're gonna bring edibles, he already had lunch. He's not gonna be hungry.
So that's how.
It'll be an abolishing operation. Because he's already satiated. He doesn't want any more food.
Okay.
Now, the establishing operation would be when he wants it. So being food deprived would be establishing operation for food.
Okay.
But food satiated will be an abolishing operation. I don't want it anymore. I don't. So that's the terminology. I don't want to take a look at it. We review the time sampling, and that was kind of confusing. We went over it, and then we said that whole interval. Let's go back to that one. Almost what page?
72.
72.
Well, it starts at 72.
Okay, let's go to page 70. I think it was page 72, from anywhere from 72 to 76. We're talking about continuous versus a discontinuous measurement, and then we arrive to the conclusion that bear with me for a moment. All right, here we go. Yeah, the chapter starts on page 72, but that kind of measurement is not found there unless you go to page 90. Okay, it's called time sampling. So time sampling refers to a variety of methods for observing and recording behavior during intervals or at specific moments in time. Then there are three forms of time sampling. One is whole interval recording. The other one would be partial interval recording, and the last one would be momentary time sampling. Momentary time sampling. We agree that the partial interval recording and the whole interval recordings are considered continuous measurement because you have to give undivided attention. We read that before. The only one that is discontinuous measurement or non-continuous measurement is the one that is momentary time sampling. Momentary time sampling, what it does, it records at the end of the interval if the behavior happened or not. So momentary sampling is used primarily to measure continuous activity, behaviors such as engagement with attacks or activity, because such behaviors are easily identified. Momentary time sampling is not recommended for measuring low frequency, short duration behaviors. So momentary time sampling, a major advantage of momentary time sampling is that the observer does not have to attend continuously to measurement. Whereas, listen to this, interval recording methods demand the undivided attention of the observer. So with the whole interval, the behavior has to occur during the whole interval. If it doesn't occur at any time during the whole interval, it doesn't count it. So it underestimates the percentage of the time period. Now, with partial interval, if it happens at any time, it counts as the behavior happens, so it overestimates it. So that's the difference. And with the momentary time sampling, it records it at the end of the interval. So it also overestimates it, the observation period. So having said that, you have to differentiate based on the example that they give you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any questions on that? And let's try to find out.
No, because you pretty much explained it before.
Oh, well, let me put a pause to this.